What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It's Ray, and today I did a wash and go on my hair using some products that is in my stash. I talked about trying to use up those products, so I got some things out of my stash, did this wash and go. And if you want to know what I use for this defined moisturized wash and go, then stay tuned. It's Ray, and today I am doing a wash and go. I am using products that I've already talked about that's in my stash. I realized when I was doing that stash video that I had a whole lot of products that I definitely need to get rid of. Some of the products that I had only had like a little bit in them, so today I figured if I'm gonna wash my hair, let me go ahead and start getting rid of the things that only had a little bit in them so I can move those out of my way, and so they're not taking up valuable space in my home with just a little bit of product in them. So what I decided to use today was the Texture ID line. If you remember, I said that I had the styling cream and that it was just a very little bit in here. So I'm going to finish that off. And then I probably will not repurchase. I think I said that. So what I did was I shampooed with the clarifying shampoo, which is now empty. It looks like there's a little bit in there, but I pretty much used it up, so it's empty. I can get rid of that. And then I detangled with the 3 times moisture conditioner, which I said that I loved, and it did not disappoint. It was able to detangle my hair. Because it is a 3-time, it's also a leave-in, so I decided to use it as a leave-in today. I've never used this as a leave-in. I usually use this leave-in spray, but I decided to use this as a leave-in as well, so it is in my hair now. And I deep conditioned with the deep treatment mask, which you guys know that I love. I've talked about it many a times, and I loved it. So my hair feels really good right now. And I'm going to top it with the Wetline, because I talked about that. When I am not sure if something is going to work, I usually use Wetline because it usually mixes with everything. So we are going to see. I didn't even try this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just test it in my hand real quick. So there's a little bit of leave-in. Take a little bit of this styling cream. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of the Wetline and mix them together. See how they do. So I will say that they're mixing okay. However, it is white, but it's not curdly, so that's good. So I may have a little bit of white on my strands, but it should dry clear. So I'm okay with that. So we're going to try it just because I want to get rid of this styling cream. And I don't even know. I know I don't have enough for my whole head to go piece by piece. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and put my hair in 4 sections. And then I'm just going to top each section with a little bit of the cream. So I won't be using a little bit of the cream. Most of the moisture probably is going to come from the leave-in, which is somewhat thick and creamy, so hopefully I don't get any flakes. We'll see. But I'm gonna start with the back first. I'm just gonna take a little bit of it and rub it in my hands. Going to add it to this section. And rake it through. And I'm hoping my hair does not dry out. I'm trying to do section by section today. I normally add the styling cream in each section, but today I'm gonna do section by section. Let's see how this works. So that's the first section. first and then pulling it down. Okay, so far I'm not seeing a whole lot of white on my hair, so that's a good thing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just add this to the rest of these sections, give it a chance to soak in, because this top area, that coarse area of my hair, it needs to start getting soaked in that area, because that's the area where it's going to show the white, if there's going to be any. It's going to be right up in here on all of these sections, right up in the crown. So I'm pretty much done with it. There's a little section there, a little section there, but I'm not that worried about it. This will be in my empty, so you'll see both of these in the empties video probably fairly soon, because I do have a lot of empties that I need to go through. So back to applying the gel. Move this up here so I can reach it. And I'm only getting a little bit of gel at a time, so but you use as much gel as you want, because I do. I mean, I just start out with a little, and if I have to keep dipping in, I keep dipping in versus getting a whole gob at once. But believe me, I am not stingy with the gel. So don't feel like you have to use just a dime size or whatever. You use what you think that you need. But start out with a little and then add more. It's always easy to add more. It's not as easy to take some away. And if you put too much in the beginning, then you could get flakes. And you don't want that. You don't want to go do a whole wash day to end up with flakes. I know I don't like to. Guys, somehow, I don't know what I was doing yesterday. I was doing a lot. But every time I looked up, I had cuts and bruises and marks on my hands, and so my hands are hurting. I got a sore there. I got one on this finger, so with me raking, it's tearing this finger up and making it worse and worse. Anyway, there he goes. Excuse the noise. He hears a dog outside barking, so now he wants to bark. Smoothing, and I'm raking. Smoothing and then raking. That is what that back section looks like. So I am going to continue to do this whole process around my head, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm almost toward the end, but I wanted to come back on because I wanted to say, if you want a really good wash and go, you need to make sure that every strand is coated with gel. And press that gel in. So that's why I smooth and I rake, because I'm trying to press that gel in so it smooths out my strands as well as gets into my strands, so there's less opportunity for flaking. Okay. The other thing too is if you're putting on gel and some of your strands feel smooth and others feel bumpy, that's why you have to pay attention to your hair. If some of it feels smooth and other feels bumpy, like that's how this feels. Some of it feels really smooth, and I could stop here if I wanted to and probably get an okay wash and go. But if I feel some that's bumpy, then I need to go back in with some more gel, because that means that whole area is not coated like some of the other ones. So then you'll have certain parts that's really defined and certain parts that's a little bit more frizzy. And you're going to get that anyway because you have different textures in your hair. But if you want it to look as uniform as possible, make sure that your whole section feels smooth. When you run your hand down that whole section feels the same. It feels smooth. You don't have a big difference between some that's smooth and some that feels a little more rough. Like when I feel my ends feel a little rough and I do need a trim. But once I put the gel on it, then it's an even smoothness, and I can just rake right through it. There's no tangles. It starts to kind of separate where it wants to because all the strands are coated, and so then you can somewhat shingle, which I don't really shingle, but my hair just kind of does it on its own sometimes depending on what gel I use, and when each strand is coated, it's going to kind of separate on its own because it's going to automatically clump up. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you as well. Just make sure that my edges have product on it. And this is what my hair looks like after applying the Wetline to my whole head. And my hair did start to dry, and I did not add any more water to it. That's my preference. I do feel like that's my preference today. I do feel like you get the best wash and goes when your hair is soaking wet. I have not deviated from that, but my problem is I'm low porosity. So with me trying to come up here from downstairs, my hair has a tendency, my cuticles has a tendency to close fairly quickly, and then me trying to add water on top sometimes just doesn't work for me. It defeats the purpose. It's running all down me. I'm getting soaking wet, and so I'm like, you know, if I got a little bit of frizz because it's not soaking wet, that's okay with me. I like frizz. If you don't like frizz and you want defined, you need to do your hair on soaking wet hair. Okay, so alrighty, I'm gonna sit under the dryer and I'll be back. Okay, alrighty guys, I am back. My hair is dry and this is what it's looking like. As you can see, it is a very firm hold using, I mean, it's, don't get me wrong, it's soft because of the conditioner I used as the leave-in and the styling cream. I didn't use a whole lot of styling cream though because I didn't have a lot. So it is pretty movable and pretty soft. There was a small cast, but once I stretched my hair a little bit, and I didn't stretch it a whole lot, but I just stretched it a little bit, that totally, for the most part, broke the strong cast that's on it. You can still feel a hold. I'm not gonna lie, you can feel a hold, but it is not real crunchy. It's just a hold. And as you can see, my hair is very defined and piecey, and there's still parts that are clumped together that I can pull apart, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I just fluffed it enough because it had shrunken so much and was like, shoo. So I just, not fluffed it, but I just kind of stretched it just a little bit. So I am going to leave it like this for today, and as the days go on, it will get bigger and bigger, and I'll pull it apart more and more, and so it'll go. But I'm sure that this wash and go will last quite a while. I will say that I like it. I feel like, you know, the moisture is in there. Now, what I said about Wetline, I do feel like it's more drying than some gel, so as the days go on, it may start to feel a little bit dry. I don't know, we will see. But right now, it feels moisturized. It looks good. But yeah, this is it. So I did get rid of some things that's in my stash. I'm going to continue to do that. So as I do my hair, whether it's a wash and go, twist outs, or whatever, I'm going to try to use things that I talked about in my stash videos to kind of get things used up so I can be a better steward. So I probably won't be doing a whole lot of new reviews at this time because I'm just not ordering a lot of new things yet because there's so many things in my stash that I haven't used. So I want to try to use those, and I also want to try to use up the things that I already have. So anyway, so this is using the Texture ID, so it just solidified fact that I would repurchase this conditioner. I definitely would repurchase the shampoo, but I already still have a shampoo and I already still have a conditioner, so I'm not going to do that now. I won't repurchase the styling cream because I'll try to use another cream if I need to. Besides that, I just don't care for the texture, and I definitely would repurchase the mask because I really like that. I think it's very moisturizing. And yeah, this is it. Let me know if you like this wash and go, and if you tried any of these products and how you feel about them. And remember to give me a thumbs up, just to subscribe to the channel, and make sure you're following me over on Instagram. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.